Hello and welcome to another game of Dota 2. We are watching the Rapture Gaming League and we are gonna see another game in the group stages. First Departure on the Dire side will take on MiTH on the Radiant side. Both of these teams are sitting in the top of the 7 teams in the group stage, and even though they're very comfortable there because they are doing just really well, they're still kinda on point with the number 3. The top 3 all have 7 wins. And the first two, or the two teams that end first, will get seeded directly into the semi-finals of the playoff brackets. And the third one and fourth and up until 6 will go into the quarterfinals. So you want to be in the top 6 that regardless, but you also want to be in the top 2 just so that you can skip the quarterfinals. So it's a very important win that these two teams are trying to get. Both teams sitting on a shared number 1 position. Both teams, like I said, having 7 wins, and they want to make sure they get ahead. They want to get that win in. We're gonna see First Departure banning out the OD and the Nyx Assassin there as well, as they have picked up a Lifestealer and a Bat Rider. Now that is a very scary combination. I think we've seen it before. Of course, I'm talking about the Bat Stealer, aka Blink Dagger Bat Rider with an infested Lifestealer in him. Jump on someone, even if it's the Weaver, if you get the last 2 off, and you should be able to take him down before he can Shukushi or time lapse. It's a very strong combination there for First Departure, and we're gonna see what MiTH will try to do against that, because they have banned out the Io and the Visage, so 2 supports removed from the pool, and they pick up one of the strongest supports in the pool, the Naga Siren. With the Weaver picked up as well for them, already a strong... I normally like to see him as a dual core, strong core regardless, but a dual core hero. Can be on the off lane, can be on the safe lane, and we've even seen Weaver in the mid lane, so we're gonna see how they're gonna run this. But a very strong combination nonetheless. I do say though, I like First Departure's matchup or lineup a little bit more thus far. We're only 2 heroes into the game, so everything can still change. But for now, it's just we know how strong Bat Rider is, we know how strong Lifestealer is, and it's pretty scary. Of course, also, I mean, Naga Siren, one of those supports that has a heavy control function with their Song of the Siren, and Bat Rider can just jump in, grab that Naga Siren as we saw in the previous game, and if there's a Lifestealer infested in that Bat Rider, they could probably take that Naga Siren down before he's even able to pick up or use the Song of the Siren. So that's gonna be Naga out of the way. No Song of the Siren is no control for MiTH. So they need to do something. They need to have some form of aggression that they can get their playstyle going rather than waiting for First Departure to initiate. So we've got ourselves a Timbersaw removed from the pool. Another hero that can just follow up real quickly, because if Lifestealer and Bat Rider indeed jump in, you want to have heroes that can just follow real fast. And a Timbersaw would be able to do that. He can just hookshot or Timber Chain himself in. We have a Razor banned out as well. First Departure, removing that. Normally when the Razor is banned out, it's a sign that you want to pick up the OD, but with OD already banned out, I'm kind of thinking that First Departure perhaps only want to have their Lifestealer as a core. Like, Razor is very strong against single core lineups, because of course if you drain that damage away from the one target that can do damage, there's nothing standing in the way between you and killing off your entire enemy team, because your enemy team can't kill you off if you have got, for example, Mechanism at least or something like that. So First Departure, I'm actually hoping that they're not going to go for a single core lineup, because I just like I like the Weaver in a dual core lineup, I like the Lifestealer in a dual core as well, better than in a single core lineup. So I'm kind of hoping that they're still going to be able to pick up something for perhaps mid or something that has a big impact in the game as well. Something like Queen of Pain. That's not really a good example. Dragon Knight's a better example. Though, of course, I mean, we've seen Bat Rider in it before as well, so it's all up in the air right now. We have an Anti-Mage banned out by MiTH, so apparently MiTH is not expecting a single core lineup. They still remove one of their of the stronger cores, stronger carries from the pool. First Departure, they have the chance of banning a hero and picking a hero straight away. They ban out the Darkseer, another offlaner removed from the pool, and they pick up a Rubik. So they will have a chance to steal the song, perhaps, if they're lucky, which is normally not possible though. Only if Naga Siren is just not the best Naga Siren in the world. But Naga Siren will always have time to use her mirror images after the song, or should always have time, let's put it that way. Weaver also, of course, has a brilliant spell to steal, and it's very easy to steal it as well, the Shukushi, which is basically the ones that he uses almost all the time. So a very strong spell for Rubik, because often we see Rubik needing to have mobility, just to have the positioning properly done, and we see him often with blink daggers and force stuff. If he gets the chance, he'll get that. And having a Shikushi and Weaver, well, that's basically a free extra mobility spell that you can steal. MiTH Trust, they still have, I mean, they've got 2 heroes right now, not really any strong mid hero just yet. I'm still assuming that they will want to pick one of those up. I mean, I already mentioned the Bedrider Lifestealer initiation blinking, and I'm kind of hoping that MiTH is going to try to fight fire with fire, so want to go for their own ganks, want to go for their own kills. So perhaps something like a Queen of Pain or a Puck wouldn't be a bad idea here. Also, of course, silencing up the Lifestealer or Bedrider would be quite nice before they can rage or before they can Firefly away or something like that. But they pick up a Dragon Knight, and I can't help but wondering if they may be banning out the Dragon Knight just to make sure that First Departure can't go for it instead. A Dragon Knight at least will be MiTH Trust's mid hero. Pretty strong one as well. I mean, I say strong one, but he's never really able to win the lane. He's able to win the lane, but in theory, Dragon Knight is picked up because he doesn't lose the lane. Not because he wins lanes, but because he doesn't lose lanes. Period.
Reserve time.
Kind of curious to see what First Departure wants to put up against a Dragon Knight, though, because I just said Dragon Knight doesn't really lose lanes, but he doesn't really win lanes either, so you can basically put up any hero against a Dragon Knight in mid that you want to. Almost every hero can solo mid up against a Dragon Knight.
Radiant team pick.
You know which hero I'm missing today? Not banned nor picked in either of the games that we've seen today? Troll Warlord. Where is he? Lina being picked up by First Departure. Now, I like seeing Lina picked up, but I know she's not the greatest, strongest hero, especially not if you have a Weaver there. I mean, her stun needs a bit of a charge-up time, and even though you're going to assume that she can follow up on the Rubik Telekinesis, not an easy one to be dealing with, because Weaver overall is very mobile and should be able to pick up Lina in no time and able to kill her very fast. So positioning is going to be key for that Lina. I'm curious to see how she's going to try and maintain her position there. As a Baden gets picked up by MiTH, now we of course have seen a Baden quite a few times. We've seen him even as carry before. I'm hoping that right now we're going to see 2 dual lanes coming out from MiTH. I love those, especially with an Abaddon. If you put an Abaddon and something else on the suicide lane, I mean, really, that hero that is going to be trying to farm there, which is not Abaddon, but the one that he is protecting, is pretty strong. One hero that I'm also missing in this draft is the Elder Titan, a hero that we saw banned out in the first banning phase, I believe, in the previous game, but is completely ignored right now by both of these 2 teams. And even though we see him mostly in solo lanes, and we're gonna assume that MiTH has got the Dragon in solo lanes, we could see First Departure still pick him up and just put Batrider in the offlane / jungle, which is probably gonna be an offlane or jungle regardless. But I would like to see an Elder Titan still. And then it would make sense for that Razor to be banned out, because then you indeed have got one solid core, which would be the Lifestealer. So that would make sense. First Departure is the one that gets to ban out a hero first. Also, they are of course the one to get to pick up a hero first, so they have to be careful that they don't force MiTH to ban out a hero that they still want to pick up. And First Departure actually bans out the Klink, so they are expecting a trial lane with the Naga Siren, Abaddon and Dragon Knight. Weaver, not Dragon Knight. I have to say, I'm not too convinced. It's not a full melee trial lane, but the 2 supports are both melee. And Weaver is not known for his range on his attacks. He's actually having a fairly low range on his attacks. So I hope it's not going to be an aggressive trial lane from them. Just a safe trial lane. I mean, we still have got, what do we still have in the pool? Already the Timbersaw, Darkseer, Nature's Prophet banned out. We still have all those solid offlaners. I mean, I would actually like to see still maybe a Bounty Hunter or something like that. But other than that, perhaps something that has a big level 6 ulti, because right now they don't really have something like that that can keep them in the game and get aggressive mid-game. A Roar would be very nice, because it also goes through the Lifestealer's Rage, of course, and they don't have anything that goes through Rage yet, apart from the Ensnare from the Naga Siren. But they could definitely use a Roar. I would like to see that. Well, we'll find out though. They only have 9 seconds left in their bonus time, so they don't have that much time
10
again to
seconds
think about their last pick soon. Same thing goes for First Departure, who's sticking into their bonus time right now,
5
and they
seconds
pick up a
remaining.
Sven. Oh, this is actually
Radiant team
looking like an aggressive trial lane with a Bed Rider mid and something safe lane solo farming. I love the Sven pickup. I have to see it still work in First Departure's lineup, but the aggression, you can smell the aggression a mile away. First Departure looking good, and I say aggression, but I also only mean aggression after Bed Rider's level 6. Because early on in the game, it's all going to be all coming down to Rubik and Lina to buy some space. But Sven, Bed Rider, Lifestealer,
10 seconds remaining.
it's fairly greedy, but I love it. I can't say any other way.
5 seconds remaining.
And of course, Sven's stun, Stormhammer, is an AoE stun. And Abaddon can only shield one target, so can only stop one
5
from
seconds
continue to
remaining.
being stunned. Can only Aphatic shield one. And Spirit Breaker last to be picked up by MiTH. Well, let's bring it on. We're gonna see how they're gonna try and lane this one then. Because it looks like we are gonna have 2 dual lanes, but well, time will tell. Time will tell. We're waiting for everybody to pick up their hero before we are actually jumping ourselves into the game. Of course, once again, you are watching the Rapture Gaming League. We are going to see one game between First Departure and MiTH Trust. It's a group stage game. Both teams are in the first and second position of the group, and they want to keep it that way. And they are actually tied on the amount of wins with the number 3, so like one of these teams is going to get ahead and is going to be a solid number 1 rather than having to share it with the rest of the top of the group. So First Departure, MiTH Trust. Let's see what they can do here, and let's see how they are going to try to take down their opponents. And there is 18 things shared here. Well, let's take a look if we can get some nice HUD. I think this one fits. Yeah. Ah, nice. Awesome. So let's take a look here. We have, of course, got First Departure. They are on the dire side. We've got ourselves a nice combination of supports with Kai, who is actually mean, as in, you know, the player mean, not because he's mean, angry, but he's called mean. Wow. Lobby will play the Rubik. We have Miracle taking on the Sven. Mid or feed is actually Pelozon, who could actually be going mid. I said earlier that you can put anything up against a Dragon Knight mid. Lifestealer is, of course, one of those, any hero mid. So he is going to be playing the Lifestealer, and he is indeed roaming towards the mid lane. Will mean a safe lane. Oh, that's disappointing for me, but oh well. We're going to see Hana playing the Bed Rider. He'll be on the bottom lane. Looks to be going for a fast bottle. It's interesting that he actually went for this item build, because I have to say I'm not too convinced that he is going to be getting that much farm bottom, but perhaps he still expects to go mid instead of the Lifestealer, considering that he is, in theory, I mean, this is a fast bottle build. Let's take a look at the other team, because I think I introduced... Oh no, I did not introduce everybody just yet. Miracle. I did introduce him. Am I missing someone? Nope. That was everybody. That was everybody. Let's take a look at MiTH Trust. They are on the Radiant side. SD will play the Naga Siren. Will be, of course, support Naga. Lakels will be on the Weaver. We have got Aba playing the Dragon Knight. Well, we're in the mid lane, as expected. Trina Cup will take on the Abaddon, and that will leave one hero left. It is Bungsel Roti, who will play the Spirit Breaker. Has been pulled itself, got the tangos for himself, and actually has got still 163 gold in his inventory, so curious to see what he's planning on getting as a fast pickup there. As that was the last one there for MiTH Trust. And a haste rune on Lina. Scary, scary things happening right here, as Mean will be able to counter the Observer Ward straight away. He's actually getting charged right now. He might be in some trouble. Lina still with that haste rune. Lands a light strike array, counters the ward, and runs herself away. The support's not coming in time. No one's there in time. The lanes have already met, so we have already got Aba not wanting to leave his lane because he is farming. And Lina continuing with her harassment. Another light strike array coming out, and she's actually gonna get some help soon. If she gets another one off, the haste rune has ended though. I don't think she can get another one off. Nah, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. Harassment, complete miracle, free farming top. And I think we are mostly looking out for this middle lane to show some action. I have to say though, I mean, I already mentioned during the draft that Dragon Knight doesn't really lose lanes. And Lifestealer, even though he doesn't really lose lanes, or won't really lose this lane, shouldn't really lose this lane. Winning the lane is a whole different ballgame, and with already a level of Dragon Blood picked up by Ava, I think there's going to be little to say here on this mid lane apart from keeping an eye out for those last hits and who's getting the most of those. But in terms of kills, without supports, I both give them very little chance to opportunity to kill each other off. But well, small eye on that one. Of course, again, same thing as we saw in previous game. 2 safe lanes means supports have to level on their own and have to level fast, because the Song of the Siren very important. And even though Abaddon's ulti is not that important as support, I mean, we've even seen Abaddon's as support skipping the borrowed time. It's still a very nice ultimate to have, especially if you're a bit behind. If you're in fear of getting nuked, then you can always have that borrowed time. And actually, he's going to rotate top. He's going to help the Spirit Breaker, who is not able to get levels here at all. I mean, he's still sitting on 36. Ooh, another light striker, 36 experience. And now with 3 Nick up around, he at least should be fine to get some extra experience. As a Naga Siren continues to just stack and pull. Something that also the supports of First Departure are of course doing. We have got Mean still level 1, Lobby level 1. I mean, it's gonna be a fairly slow game for now until the Bed Rider is level 6 and has a Blink Dagger, or until the supports rotate. Lobby as well as Mean, I think they are the supports with the more heavy rotate possibility. They have got this nice synergy where the telekinesis can set up for a light strike array. They could actually go for some early aggression, but it's very difficult to take down a Dragon Knight early on because he is so damn tanky. We'll see if they will try at all. For now, they're being kept busy here by MiTH Trust, and just some harassment coming out. But with the shield up, and not just I meant the poor man's shield, or stout shield rather, but also with the aphotic shield up, that's gonna be a tough cookie to kill as well. It's looking pretty good for both lanes to just play out their lanes and get the experience. I think MiTH is getting from the top lane and what they want to have. They get some levels, or should be getting some levels. Spirit Breaker actually still level 1, but they should be getting some levels. They should even be getting some farm, and that's all they ask for. Aba in the meantime, 12 for 0 here in the mid lane up against Pelozon's 19 for 4, so Lifestealer getting slightly ahead here, but also, of course, MiTH, I mean, you know that you can't really necessarily win a mid lane if you're a Dragon Knight, but not losing the lane, so far so good here as well, as there is, of course, a free farming Weaver. Now, this is the more scary thing that you can think of, because this Weaver is going to be big. Better yet, it is the Lakel's Weaver, so you better be ready for that if you're First Departure. You better be getting your Bed Rider to get amazing farm in the jungle. So far, I mean, he is doing okay-ish. He's sitting on 1200 gold. He is going for a fast Blink Dagger by the looks of it, unless he plans to buy something right now, which he could. But we'll keep an eye out, because he is going to be the game changer here. He is going to be the one to set that pace, and he is actually teleporting bottom right now. As the only one, he is maybe locked in between a Naga Siren and a Weaver, though this could be a first blood. In comes the Jakushi. He tries to Firefly away from the Naga Siren. He can make that happen. A Snare not going to come out. Naga does not want to go over the flames anymore, because she is still only level 3. So no gank happening here, or at least the gank happened, but not a successful one at least. Hana will get some last hits here, but does have to sacrifice a bit of his jungle farm here to be on the lane. He does protect his tier 1, which is of course a very important duty to make sure that MiTH Trust is being kept on an even pace compared to First Departure, because of course the first team to get a tower, if there's no kills on the board, towers are going to be the one thing to make a difference in the lanes. They're going to be the one thing to get the core items up on one team faster than on the other team. So next to farming, of course. The farming so far is slightly in favor of First Departure, I'd say. Weaver, of course, still free farming, so he is doing better than the free farming or semi-free farming Sven, even though only slightly. It's only 4 last hits difference between the two. But mid lane won by the Lifestealer, or at least getting ahead on last hit. Lifestealer sitting on 32 last hits, with Aba sitting on 23. Oh, Bad Rider and snared. This time they did get the snare off. He still has his Firefly off though, and he will fly over the jungle. TPs are actually coming in. Perhaps he's gonna get a comeback kill. Nope, not gonna happen. Lina coming back in to see if he could help out, but Mean not able to make anything happen there. Bad Rider does get forced back to base, sitting on 1k gold. In the meantime, level Spirit Breaker, it's level 3. I mean, it's only got 12 last hits. It's not really doing all too hot. take a quick look at net worth. I mean, net worth is normally not really something that you want to look at this early, but with lanes that are so static and no towers going down, it's actually pretty interesting because we do see Lakel's highest, which is logical, and of course Lifestealer and Sven are able to keep up with him in terms of net worth. But you see the difference between a Spirit Breaker and a Bat Rider, which are both the offlaners, and it's really not that big. So it's actually pretty decent for the Spirit Breaker, more so than for the Bat Rider, because Bat Rider should be getting ahead. If he was allowed to be in the jungle all the time, he would have been higher than the Spirit Breaker, but he had to give up some farm, and now Spirit Breaker is actually ahead of the farm, so doing pretty good there. As rotation comes in, maybe Lina as well as Lobby's Rubik. Maybe looking to make a play. There's still a smoke up in Rubik's inventory, but they haven't used it just yet, so we'll just have to wait and see when they find an opening for that. They know that they countered the observer ward here. They don't know where the other one went down, but I mean, we're at 7 minutes in right now, so normally that's the time where you want to try and make a gank happen, because that's when the wards disappear, and actually they're coming in from the side, no smoke needed. They might be able to kill off Spirit Breaker, who actually runs right into them. Is there going to be a lift? Yes, there is. Life Strike Array as well, but the communication not there. Life Strike Array misses, and they can't follow up on that. No Svensson would have helped there, so that's going to be that. And of course the shield would have been there as well. Maybe the shield was actually fast enough. If the Light Strike Array did just hit, that would have been perfect timing, but I think the Light Strike Array actually missed. But of course, I mean, there's three disables there on the top lane with the Telekinesis and the Light Strike Array and the Stormhammer. And you can only shield one. In the meantime, Dragonite was able to harass Lifestealer quite a bit, maybe for, well, with popping his Dragon form, helping out for that. Min comes in to take some experience while Lifestealer is away. And Dragonite had just having a solid game. I mean, I already said you can't win it. He's doing good though. He's getting good levels, and that's all you really want to have. And with the Dragon form up, you're able to lay down some harassment on the tower, perhaps able to take it down at some point as well if Lifestealer keeps away from that mid lane, which for now seems to be the case. Looks like SD wants to make a play here in mid. There is no Dragon form up though, so I'm not quite sure if they can actually make it happen. Perhaps if it's Lina that comes close. I mean, she's only level 4. If there is an ensnare, Dragonite can just walk up to him and go for a Dragon Tail, and that's gonna be probably a kill. In comes the ensnare, in comes Ava as well, looking for a Dragon Tail. Light Strike Array tries to dodge it, can't do it. Charge coming up from the top lane, and that might actually be enough if he actually continues charging this, as he's taking a lot of damage here. Light Strike Array, this is first blood. Mean takes it home, still getting chased down by the Spirit Breaker, who should be able to get a kill there as well, but hello, in comes the Rage. There comes the open wounds. That is not worth dying for, because that is just to support Lina that you just took down, and you are sacrificing your life for that Spirit Breaker. Not a worthy trade at all. First departure, profiting from MiTH Trust greed. Very high greed actually. And able to take 2 kills home for a 1 Lina, including the first blood going away first departure. Pretty good trade indeed, as the tier 1 tower will get dropped. Perhaps they're going to be able to deny it though. Open wounds, Aba looking for a pickup on the Dragonite. In comes a TP as well for the Lina. Gets a Light Strike Array. That's going to be a Dragon dead, and the tower denied. That's going to be more wins all around for first departure. In the meantime, Lakel's trying to make something happen here with Hana, but can't make it happen at all. And we do have the Mask of Madness up on Miracle, who's left alone because everybody went middle to try and help out the Dragonite. So Miracle left to his devices and was able to pick up a tower. So that is going to be the first tower down on the side of MiTH Trust, as Lobby was able to steal charge. This looks awkward, by the way. Charge is up on the Weaver. It's not really the best target, especially not since he doesn't have detection. They don't have detection. None of them do. So it's pretty risky business. Perhaps they were hoping that the Bat Rider was faster so that he could actually get a lasso up and that they could perhaps chain stun him to death. But they don't get him. They do chase him away, obviously. There's now also Naga Siren coming in. They want to take down Mean. In comes the Light Strike Array. Does hit up on the Naga Siren. In comes Hana. It will be still Lina that drops. No doubt about it. Lakel's will make it happen. And that's going to be the Bat Rider not able to help out there anymore, as a charge from Spirit Breaker comes out. Goes upon Apollozon, who is in some trouble. Does have a rage though. Will use it. In comes Miracle. Tries to help out. He has a Stormhammer if he wants to use it. Charged up now up on the Dragonite. Comes off from the Rubik, of course, as Buncel Roti will go down. The charge continues. Aba will get bashed by a Lobby, and then there's the lasso if they need it, if they think they need it. Oh well, no rush. We'll use it anyway. In comes the shield. Cancelling the last two, of course, but he's still getting chased down. In also comes Pelozon. He has got the open wounds ready. He's got it at level 3, so he will be in range. There they go. They should be able to pick him up, but maybe Trina Cobb can save his carry. The shield, the heal, all goes up. Everything gets thrown out. The Life Strike Ray gets dodged by A-By. He still is running for his life. Burrow Time will make sure that Trina Cobb is safe, and it looks like the Dragon was home safe. Lakel's now looking to turn it around. In also comes the Spirit Breaker, already charging up. Lina already down. Pelozon tries to still go for the Life Stealer to charge up on the Bat Rider. They cancel it though, and they go for the last target. They go for the Life Stealer, who does not have a rage, and his 5 stick charges won't save his life. Double kill for the Abaddon, and I think that's definitely kills that Trina Cobb deserved, because he was able to keep his Dragon Knight safe. He is the only reason that this dragon is still flying. Strong performance from him, making it 4-4. Myth Trust making up for their misheaps earlier on in the game, make it even on the kill score again, and now back towards the 500 gold, or almost towards the 0 line. I mean, 500 gold is really nothing in favor of First Departure. With the towers, of course, I mean, the towers are in favor of Myth Trust. There's 2 towers down, of course, one of them is at a 9, but you still get some extra gold. And there's 1 tower down for First Departure on Myth Trust side, so in theory, the gold graph should be slightly in favor of Myth Trust, but First Departure still getting the most farm out of the lanes. In comes a blink. Last two. Lakel's in some trouble. Fate Bolt. Do they have extra? No time lapses there. Telekinesis. The charge up in the meantime up on lobby. In comes the song. Do they want to turn around and fight this? I think they do. The charge is still on the way. Gonna go past. No, cancels it. Never mind. They back off. They don't want to do this. They run and they stop running, actually. Like he has stopped running. Miracle. 2,500 gold for him. We haven't really seen that apart from him getting a kill up on the Spirit Breaker earlier, and he might be in some trouble right now. Tries to run for it. Pops his Mask of Madness to run, and of course you take extra damage with that, and you are gonna die for that one. Light Striker 8 comes out on the Spirit Breaker, but he gets a shield, he gets a heal, looks to be safe. Trina Cup again has his borrowed time used. Lina in some trouble. Nice Light Striker Ray still comes out. In comes a charge though, still up on Lina. They want to get her. They get him. Looking for the next target. Pelozon tries to find one, gets Dragon Tailed, and will be in a lot of trouble. Infest inside a creep. It's a Radiant creep. He will still be in the nigh range now, so they might be able to kill him off. No, they let him go. Ensnare is still there. In comes another Dragon Tail, actually. He has got it. If the rage runs out, that's going to be the end of Pelozon. They dive the tier 2 tower. They can make it happen. The Dragon Tail no longer around, but it doesn't matter for Lakel's. He is able to... Oh, those stick charges! Those stick charges save Pelozon. If he wouldn't have done those, he would have died to Lakel's for sure. Myth Trust fighting. Getting 2 extra kills out of that one. With First Departure not getting anything in return. No towers for them either. No extra towers, that is. And this is Myth Trust taking it back. Myth Trust getting their core levels up, getting their flow going, and it's working out just fine for them. As First Departure, they have got the Blink Dagger up on the Bat Rider, but that shield is causing some problems for them right now. They really need to get that Abaddon out of the way. This Abaddon hasn't died yet a single time, is on a killing spree, so it's worth quite a bit of gold. We've seen his Burrow Time pop quite a few times, but other than that, they haven't really tried to focus him down at all. The Laguna Blade is actually quite good against Abaddon. At least, you know, it can work both ways. Because you have to be able to use it right at the time that his Burrow Time is not yet popped. And he is not gonna go, like... He is, yeah, he will go down from it, basically. There's, like, this sweet spot that you have to get. It's very tricky to do, but it's possible. Only if he doesn't have a shield up, obviously. But they can try to make that work. But right now, it's actually the supports of First Departure that have to first get a bit more levels before they're able to do much more towards that Abaddon. Abaddon is sitting at level 8. And the supports of First Departure are still sitting at level 6. And level 8, same level as the offlaner. Almost same level as the mid laner, by the way, for the Dragon Knight. So Myth Trust just doing really well. They also have the Naga Siren, who's still level 6, but has a song. That's the most important thing that you can think of. Naga Siren basically done right now in terms of levels until she's level 11, of course. Which at some point you want to have as well. But I think Myth Trust looking very comfortable. And as long as his Abaddon hangs around mid and hangs around the Dragon Knight, things are going to be okay for them. Things are going to be just fine. We do, however, have Sven, though. We know what a farmed Sven can do. I mean, I think we've all seen it in a couple of movies where if he gets crits, then, you know, a lot of people can die at the same time. It has happened before. Sven, he already has a Crystallis, he has a Mask of Madness, a pretty greedy build, because often we see a BKB build first. But because there are so many things against that rage, against the BKB, so you have got you got the snare basically. It's, I mean, you don't really wanna go for BKB altogether, because I mean you're gonna get bashed anyway by the Spirit Breaker. Goals go through BKB, so it's not the most important item to have right now. Perhaps Lincolns might be a good idea here, but it's a bit more expensive. And it offers a bit less to Sven, because even though, of course, Lincoln's on itself is great to have with his effect and all, a BKB actually also gives you strength, and since Sven is a strength hero, he profits from that as well. While, of course, the Lincoln's doesn't profit from it as much as he does from a BKB in terms of stats. Looks like they want to make a go on the Dragon Knight again. This time, though, Abaddon, he's in his base. Ooh. Ooh, never mind that. I thought I want to make a go on the Dragon Knight, but nope. It's another monster they want to go for. It's Roshan. And it looks like they can actually make this happen. Look at this guy hitting. Mask of Madness helping out. Mid or feed. Tanking up the Roshan. That's going to be an Aegis for the Sven. And this could be just what First Departure needed to get some fights going. They don't need to get fights going though. They look pretty solid for late game if they get a good stun off. They have to get a stun off, of course, first. But if they do get a stun off, then they look pretty solid. We have got the armlet now ready up on Pelozon, who we haven't seen infest just yet on the Bed Rider, I believe, and I would like to see that. Bed Rider is making his way bottom as well. So all 5 of First Departure making their way bottom, while on the top lane we have got everybody of MiTH cross. I say everybody, but Abaddon just teleported towards bottom lane together with SD, who has a song, so perhaps they want to make something happen. Does everybody have a TP scroll? Spirit Breaker has one. Weaver has one. Dragon Knight's already on his way, has one as well though. But if they see all the heroes of First Departure here, if there is a song from SD, they can catch out almost everybody here, and they might be able to make something brilliant happen here. Tier 1 tower does go down bottom. Yep, in comes the song, in comes the teleports as well. The infested Bat Rider is sitting right there. All heroes at First Departure caught by that song. Lobby is going to be the first target there. Blink forward SD. Still going to be the target. Infest out. That's Naga for Rubik so far. Lina gets dropped as well. In comes the Spirit Breaker. Down goes the Bed Rider. And now Pelozons together with Sven, the last 2 alive. Can they make something happen here? Sven already back home was able to TP out. And Pelozon just tries to run. Doesn't have an infest anymore, of course, because he used it earlier. Rages and TPs himself out. Bash. First hit bash. Of course he does. That's going to be a kill. That's going to be 4 people for 1. Puni Naga Siren that got a lasso up on her after she already used the song. Normally, I mean, I said during the draft that as a Bed Rider, you sometimes want to just grab the Naga Siren, but you only want to do that when there is still a song up, because once the song is over, I mean, that's all she's used for. She's already used all her spells, you might as well just let her be. But they got her, I guess that's nice and all, but they lost 4 heroes for that. In comes the Bat Rider again. Laguna Blade, the shield, drops it. Barely loses any health. As the Lincolns is ready up on the Weaver already. Maybe Miracle can make something happen. Goes for the Stormhammer, goes for the Spirit Breaker. This is an off-lane Spirit Breaker that they cannot kill. Lekels actually comes in. They want to try and fight this again. Miracle now goes for Trina Cub, who has his burrow time, still helping him out. Nice and snare as Naga gets picked up again. Light Striker Ray misses, and Lekels once again able to make it out. Oh, he time-lapses into a Stormhammer. Trina Cub this time, he puts a shield up on himself, but still will go down. Lekels looking for Lobby. Perhaps he can make it happen. He has got another Shikushi. Might be able to make something happen here. No, doesn't. He just Shikushis himself out. In comes Ava though. Hello, Aegis by Sven. He just ran himself into a Dragon Knight. Not something that you want to be doing. That's going to be another fight. Won by MiTH, though. This time First Departure at least does not go home empty-handed. They get the Abaddon. That's the first time that they kill him off. I mean, it's still a support that they got. Fair enough. But it's at least something. Better than the Naga Siren, I think, because Naga, I mean, he's not going to be that big of a threat if he doesn't have a song, so that's the only reason why you want to shut down that Naga Siren. I mean, they try to go for the Spirit Breaker. He's got a BKB. He had such a tough time early on. He's actually going to try to charge up on Miracle here. There are some other people helping around here too. Naga Siren, he has an ensnare. There's also the Dragon Knight who has got Dragon Form up. BKB's built all around, by the way. And Miracle, yeah, I don't think you can run from this. You are a dead man. Flamebreak tries to save his life, but it doesn't matter. BKB actually being popped by the Spirit Breaker. Bit Trigger happy, but maybe he was afraid that someone would do exactly that, actually. 10-second BKB is about to run out. He still ends up going down to Lina. In comes Lina Snare though, up on the Lifestealer. Can they get him down from this as well? Dragon Tail comes out. Another Breathe Fire would do it. Doesn't matter. Abaddon once again with the kill. Lina in some trouble. Tries to run, but I don't think he's gonna get lucky. One more hit will do the job. Indeed. Killing spree now. Lakels comes in from the other side. Is able to pick up the Rubik and now goes for the Bad Rider. Song used for that. Another team wipe going the way of MiTH Trust. And it is looking pretty convincing for MiTH right here. They are on a roll. They definitely are. The gold graph goes their way, quite convincing. And we have, of course, got the experience graph going their way as well. Looking good. They have the double amount of kills as First Departure has at the moment. And even though First Departure was doing okay in the lanes, this Abaddon is just making life hell for First Departure because they want to do so many things. They want to grab people and run away with them and kill them off with their nuke damage that they have, but they just can't do it. There's too much sustainability coming out from this Abaddon, and he doesn't even have a mechanism yet. Never mind. Scratch that. He's got his mechanism ready right now, so he's looking good. Very good, even. As we have got 1500 gold up on Lakels. The Dragonite, of course, has his BKB ready as well. Spirit Breaker, same story. The only one that's able to keep up with the farm is this Sven, but we all know, I mean, like I already said, right? This Sven is a pretty, like, we've seen it before. We've seen him one-shot everybody, like entire teams at the same time. He needs to get lucky, though, and he needs to actually be able to hit things, and that's starting to be a problem because he gets ensnared, and while MiTH Trust take care of the rest of his team, he can't really do anything. They go for another fight. Bad Rider already killed off, mid or feet. Pelozon comes out. Actually, just tries to run from this rather than trying to fight. Now in comes Miracle. Goes for Aba, but he is in his BKB. Still gets a Dragon Tail up on the Lifestealer. Charge goes up on the Lina, who misses the Light Strike Array on Lakels, who gets Lobby as a kill there. And there goes the charge. That's a double kill for Lakels. Miracle indeed ensnared. And now he's left for last. Miracle, you're dead, man. 4 heroes dead. Once again, it is GG. It is MiTH Trust victorious over First Departure in a very convincing fashion. 21-minute game. And MiTH Trust showing no mercy whatsoever. First Departure giving up their first slot in the group stages to MiTH Trust, who are now convincingly on top in the group stages for the Rapture Gaming League, of course, which is what you were watching right now. It was only a best of one. Unfortunately, no second chances for First Departure to get back on top of that so-called horse. But, of course, there's more competitive Dota to watch. Just not on this channel. I'm going to be playing some matchmaking before I'm going to watch Na'Vi versus Liquid. And if you already want to watch some competitive Dota right now, you can do that over on Dota Talk. I believe they have got the finals going on right now for the Euro Cup, the Steel Series Euro Cup, that is. Thank you for watching, of course. Don't forget to follow my Twitch channel, where you're watching right now. And, of course, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you know, all that stuff. All under the same name of Shiver Gaming. And, yeah. Tune back in again later. Bye-bye.